Good morning and welcome, staff. In today's meeting, we are going to take a look at the Federal Educational Rights and Privacy Act, or better known as FERPA. We're going to take a look at what FERPA is, how it affects our school district, and then more importantly, how it affects you as an employee of our district. What is FERPA? FERPA is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act that prevents schools from sharing student information without parental consent. That student information could be anything from their address to their disciplinary records or to their grades. More importantly, it is a federal law that protects the confidentiality of student education records maintained by educational agencies. And it is the best known and most influential of the laws governing student privacy. So it's something that's very important, and we need to make sure that we are compliant with all of the regulations and stipulations of FERPA here in our district. Now we're going to take a look at what FERPA provides. It gives the right of parents and adult students to inspect and receive a copy of student records. It provides the right to deny access to others. It also provides a process to correct errors. It gives the right to opt out of this disclosure of a student's directory information. It also provides a complaint process handled by the Family Compliance Office of the U.S. Department of Education. Now, video surveillance or images also qualify as these student records we're talking about when it is directly related to that student. So we need to keep that in mind when a student is on video surveillance, maybe for a disciplinary issue. That student being on video surveillance at that time is now protected under FERPA if it's directly related to that student. We can disclose information to law enforcement if school has a directory information policy under FERPA. So that's something else to keep in mind. And all of these rights transfer to the student when they reach 18 or attend a post-secondary institution at any age. So while the student is under our care in pre-K through 5, their parent has access to their records. But as soon as that student turns 18 and they're attending, let's say, college, that student now has the rights under FERPA and the parent no longer does. Now we're going to take a look at what FERPA is lacking. Number one, FERPA does not give individuals the right to sue the school. 2, it burdens parents and students to respond to opt-out opportunities such as disclosure of directory information. And 3, it does not dictate requirements for safeguarding educational records. Now let's talk about old data. So when a student's data becomes unnecessary or irrelevant, it needs to be destroyed. For example, when the student is out of our system, they've graduated, they've moved on, we need to make sure we're taking care of their information in the right way. Sensitive data needs to be destroyed using stronger methods of destruction so that it cannot be recovered by someone else that should not have access to it. So those are things that we need to keep in mind, and most likely that will all be in the office, a lot of it, but there are some things that you will have in your classroom from a student that may have to be destroyed at a later date as well. What does this mean for you as an employee in our district? Number one, we need to know when to release and know when to withhold records. 2, we need to be cautious about what you tell and to whom you tell it. 3, understand who we are allowing access to personal information. 4, know the rights, protections, and exceptions always. And then 5, always have a FERPA awareness. So I think a lot of times these are things that we kind of take for granted. We should know that we're not supposed to give student information to anyone but that student's parents. We always need to have that awareness throughout the school year that we need to be protecting the privacy of each of our students. And then lastly, we need to attend our yearly FERPA training and make sure we're up to speed on everything pertaining to FERPA, and then if there have been any changes to FERPA since we've last done any training. So I hope this meeting helped you today. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, stop by my office. I'd be glad to go over anything with you. Just be cognizant and aware of the fact that we need to keep student information private and keep doing what you do to help our students daily. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Here are my references.